Hey, we have some good and bad news today. First, the player base is continuing to drop significantly, and we'll briefly go over why it's happening. Not only that, but the latest major order is now close to ending, and we might succeed if all goes well. There's much more to discuss. If you enjoy the video at any point, consider giving it a thumbs up by tapping the like button below. Let's start with the bad news, which is that Helldivers 2 is experiencing a decline in its player base. Before we proceed, let me clarify that this video is not intended to criticize Helldivers 2, as I still believe the game has potential and can succeed. However, the situation does not look too promising now. If you check SteamDB, you can see that the player base has dropped quite a lot. It used to have a 24-hour peak of 34,000 for quite some time, as you can see here, with numbers ranging from 31,000 to 34,000. Now the peak has fallen to 29,000, and it's possible that more players could drop out, which is not a good sign for Arrowhead Game Studios. So why are players leaving a game that has been so successful for such a long time now? Well, to be honest, it's expected with just about any game, but this is a live service game after all, and it thrives off the player base for major orders to succeed. We'll get more into the major order much later, but one of the main reasons that players have decided to leave is most likely due to the progression system currently. There's nothing to strive for if you have already unlocked everything there is to unlock. Once you've unlocked all the armor, boosters, emotes, and so on from the Warbonds and have unlocked all the ship modules, then yeah, there's not much to go after. Recently, the developers delivered a surprising hotfix that introduced brand new ship modules and resolved the crashing issues, and about a week later, they fixed the infinite loading screen bug as well. Nonetheless, there are some new upgrades to unlock and the Commander Stratagem to purchase, but this might not be enough to keep the player base going, and it does not help that most likely we will not see a Warbond this month. The community manager and support members have been given the same exact answers to questions about the next Warbond, and as you can see here, with one member saying, "Next Warbond, when?" To which B Vitamin, the support team member, replied with, "No date has been announced yet." And even Twinbeard has confirmed there is no date for the next Warbond, which he created this post and said, "The date for the next Warbond hasn't been revealed, nor the interval between them going forward. The decision is to increase the cadence from what was prior monthly, still stands however, so no new Warbond yet." Alright, you get the point. There is no Warbond this month, most likely considering that some of the developers are currently on a 6-week break. While there is a skeleton crew working currently, and for those who do not know what exactly a skeleton crew is, it essentially consists of a smaller group of Arrowhead developers instead of the usual normal size. Now, I would suspect that the normal size will be back sometime next month in August to maybe the beginning of September, which is kind of horrifying to think about, to be honest. Because if the player base is dropping this much over time, then it's sure to drop more if there is a lack of content this month. There's a good chance we will not see a new Warbond until next month, but to be somewhat positive, I'm sure we can probably see a hotfix here and there until the next big update. And another reason for the player base dropping is due to the bugs, and no, I'm not talking about those pesky Terminids, I'm talking about the crashing and infinite loading bug, which have since been resolved. Nonetheless, there are still problems with the ballistic shield that is currently being worked on, and the developers are fully aware of what's going on. Anyways, Helldivers 2 has improved quite a lot despite the ballistic shield bug, but that is probably one of the reasons the player base has dropped. Another contributor to the overall lack of players would be blocked regions as well, which is a no-brainer. If you've watched one of my previous videos, you know that the review bomb cape is still yet to be released. With that aside, there are various factors that play a part here. Does this mean the game is dead? No, I don't think so at all. There are game studios that have slipped, fallen, and then got right back up to develop some stellar content. And I think that's the case here. The game is still thriving, regardless of the lack of players, but surely we'll see an increase once the developers are back to their normal size and are pushing out some fun content with a new Warbond to play around with. I would like to know your thoughts about the lack of Warbond this month, or about the player base dropping. Do you think the game is going to be dead? Let me know in the comments. Moving along, we'll talk about the latest major order in Dispatch. We'll start off with the Dispatch. If you have not seen this already, because we are making an impact on these planets by liberating each one, because right here the Dispatch states, reports indicate decreased levels of Automaton resistance, assuredly due to having calculated the inevitable ultimate victory of managed democracy. Press the advantage. If we can successfully complete this major order, we are going to make a permanent impact on the automatons because so far it looks like we are affecting them already. It is looking like it's going to be very close if we do succeed. We must make this last push because we only have about 1 day left to complete this and force the automaton scum to run away with their metal tails between their legs. If you are currently on a bug planet, make sure to turn to the left and go straight to the automaton section and help out today. It's for the greater good. Next, I have an interesting glitch to show you that I think you all are going to find quite useful. It involves using a grenade launcher on a fabricator. Start by selecting your stratagems and choose the grenade launcher, of course. Find a spot to land on the map and locate a fabricator nearby. You may notice that firing at a fabricator is useless. However, if you go directly behind the structure, you'll notice some pipes on the back, or one pipe. Anyways, that's where you'll want to shoot the grenade launcher. The grenades should clip through the texture and into the building, causing it to explode. This right here, you can do this with every fabricator, and it can be useful if you are in a bad spot. Now let's talk a bit more about automatons. If you have seen my last video, then you have seen the tips and tricks I've recommended. I do have some more that I believe you'll find quite useful for the gunships, hulks, and group of enemies. We'll start off with gunships. There are quite a few choices to select from. The commando is not bad, but I wouldn't suggest it considering you have much better options like the laser cannon or even the spear. The reason I don't suggest the commando is because if you're not good at guiding the rockets, you'll have a difficult time because of how often the ships move around in the air. Now, the laser cannon, on the other hand, can be used to target small engines or thrusters on the side of a ship easily, and once you inflict enough damage, which is not much, the ship will begin to plummet. There's no tracking or a way of guiding a missile, but it is quite effective against gunships. I suggest this one more than the spear because the laser cannon ammo is essentially infinite if you allow it to cool down. The cooldown is the same as it is with the spear. It's about 480 seconds, which is about 8 minutes. So what about a Hulk? If you are fighting against a Hulk, then the spear is not a bad option, and neither would the commando or an orbital precision strike. I wouldn't suggest using the laser cannon, however, you can use stun grenades, which is what I enjoy and use quite often against bugs and bots. With that, you can stun a Hulk, then quickly go around the bot and fire the laser at the glowing part on the back. If you are using a commando, you can one-shot Hulks if you can aim it at the head, and if not, it takes 3 shots to the body to destroy one Hulk. The orbital precision strike is just as good as a support weapon because stunning a Hulk with a stun grenade, then throwing down an orbital strike right afterwards, is a great and effective way of destroying bots in general. You can use this method on larger groups, Hulks, and tanks as well, and to be completely fair here, you do not even have to stun first. You can throw the orbital strike, then stun right afterwards. It's whichever way you feel comfortable with. So with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is your Helldivers 2 news. We're now going to check out the top 3 comments from the previous video. If you guys would like to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. The first comment is from Goondiver 445. What is that comparison? Skull emoji, and so on. And yeah, you guys would have to watch the previous video because I made a joke. Go ahead and check it out. The second comment is by I was once a Krabby Patty. The only spawn issue is them spawning directly behind you, and when you get killed, they just vanish into thin air. And last but not least, we have Judy FPS 5059. The review bomb cape lost its magic. I won't wear it because it doesn't signify anything important anymore. Nothing even changed regarding the locked regions. And with that last one, that's completely fair. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have not done so already, subscribe, turn the notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.